Hi folks, Jim Sherman of the Michigan BFRO again. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my previous recordings, but today I would like to try something a little bit different. While researching a report from Lenawee County in 2011, I came upon branch breaks and stick structures in the forest behind the location where several Class A sightings had been reported, as well as vocals recorded and prints discovered. Over the course of this investigation, I've been in the woods and found that the most interesting part of the tree breaks involves the fact that they follow a clear deer trail and are all broken in the same direction. This happens to be the direction that we have recorded vocalizers moving through. The breaks happen in branches with diameters ranging from 1 inch to 6 inches. Diameter, as you recall from geometry class, is a straight line segment that passes through the center of a circle and whose endpoints lie on the circle. Yep, I googled that. Most of these breaks seem to occur from about 5 feet to as high as 9 or 10 feet up, but the average in this 100-yard trail for about 12 very clear breaks is about 6.5 feet. Now, I could not break most of these, and they appear to have a twist involved when they're bent. I saw numerous bent over saplings and other structures. This area has known activity, so it seems reasonable to continue to find evidence to support the idea that Sasquatch used tree and stick manipulations as a form of communication. I decided to travel also then to a location that did not seem likely to have any Sasquatch activity at all, yet had enough of a forest to give an accurate representation of other areas in the field in Michigan. My thought was that if I found a whole bunch of what looked like stick structures, either my idea of stick manipulation was wrong and rather the act of simple gravity and wind, or Sasquatch are simply everywhere. I began filming, measuring, and documenting these tree breaks. 2 days after that, we had a very heavy snowfall preceded by freezing rain. Branches were taken down in my yard, and I walked around my property surveying the damage. When I saw what happened to be trees bent down and broken that looked similar to what I had previously thought was the activity or behavior of Sasquatch, I decided I was going to make a trip to the same place I had documented previously. If I found fresh tree breaks without any corresponding tracks by human or anything else, I could surmise that nature created at least some of these structures. As you might be able to see as I kind of zoom in on here, this tree was recently broken because of the weight of the snow. Now the snow is all gone, but it's kind of interesting because you can almost see twisting. Interesting. We're coming up on an area that I documented and photographed just a day or so ago. So let's see if there's any more structures or anything else interesting out here. So you have some old ones like this, kind of low. Nice. Branch is broken up there. Hard to see. A lot of dogs have been through here. Kind of a neat bowed branch there. Looks like it's being held down by a tree that fell here. Okay. Now, looks like the reason these trees here are bowed so cool is because of that larger tree there that fell on them. And that also explains this arch here. Right there. Okay. And there's some larger ones up over there. Hard to see though. Now let's say this tree stays like this and continues to grow the way it is, and then the old dead tree either falls off of it or decays. Will this thing remain in its cool arch shape? I think it would. Interesting. Now I'm searching for some more recent tree snaps to see how the storm has impacted the branches. Now what I want to do is I want to find some fresh evergreens, because if I can find some fresh evergreens and I can see that those are snapped, it means that it happened recently and it's easier to tell. So I see some over that way, and so I'm going to head that way. Off to my left, actually to the north, is a lake. So I think I'll head this way. On my way over to the pine area, I found another very recent snap right here. And if you see, nice, possibly really close, you can see it kind of has a little twist look to it. And that was obviously caused recently because of the snow. Cool. Coming up on what looks like someone has placed a bunch of sticks up here. Just kind of an interesting structure. Probably natural, but kind of cool looking. Someone could have placed those there. You can't hunt here, so it wouldn't be a hunter, which normally when you see something like that, you think it's some kind of a turkey blind or a deer blind or something like that. But because there's a lot of people around here, it's either just completely natural or kids put it together maybe. Who knows? A few other things to consider are deer, and that's a little deer rub. In the spring, the bucks will come in and they'll rub the velvet off of their antlers on twigs like that, and they'll frequently also rip up little trees like that as well. It's chillier than I thought it was going to be. I probably have some really cool stalagmites hanging from my nose. That just made me sound intelligent. Huh. I can't turn it off. I'm a genius. Huh. Interesting one. And just in case you think that I'm causing problems, oh, there's a little one over there. That I'm like bouncing too much. This is walking. Imagine running. Blazing. Oh yeah, that's good. There's another neat one right next to the trail. I just saw a couple of hikers, and I guarantee you there's going to be probably a couple of Bigfoot sightings out here today, because I think I'm behaving a little bit silly. I'm walking where no one else walks, and just a moment ago I was running around to see how cool it looked like running with the camera. Yep. So disregard those, please. This break right there is a good 12 feet up in the air. It's going to be hard for anything to reach. Now, if you take a look up way ahead, you'll see a dark object. I'm going to zoom in on it, theoretically, or not. Oh, I already was zoomed. And yeah, I'm just going to get closer. But from here, it takes the shape of a strange looking, oh, it's a person. Fantastic. They're going to think I'm weird. I'll stop filming. Here are a couple of other bends right over the trail. Watch this effect. You know, it's interesting because the average branch break that I've been finding has been about 6 to 8 feet tall. And some of them are certainly much thicker than I could break. But they're very, very, very recent. Which lends me to think that many of them are because of the ice storm that we had and the really thick, heavy snow. Also, large numbers of them have been right next to the trail. And maybe it's because there was, that's an area where the branches will reach out to get the most sunlight, and maybe they're a little bit thinner. But also, maybe there's not that many other branches to catch the snow, and they will break sooner than the other ones. So there's a lot of branch breaks right near the trail that are not done by humans. Kind of interesting. And I can't turn this off. The area down here actually has open water, and you can see a whole bunch of animal trails leading right to it. Now most of it is deer, but it's kind of cool to see that type of thing. I did not anticipate finding any open water here, even though there are a couple of rivers that are completely frozen over, and so is much of the swamp. But that area right down there has open water, and if you wanted to ambush something, that's where you'd set yourself up. As a matter of fact, I did find something that looks like kids had made a fort or something like that, or a turkey hunter had, but this is an area that's off limits to hunting. So it's just kind of cool. It's a perfect placement. Now here's how I've been spotting these branch breaks right off of this main trail I happen to be on. You can kind of see them. They stick out when they're really fresh. So let's go take a look at this one, give you an idea of the height that we're talking about. See it right there. I'm going to be going under a branch. Snazzy. See, that is as high as I can reach. And that's the top of that. Which is kind of interesting. It's interesting because I walked right past this one when I came in today. It's another good example of a branch right next to the trail. Literally leaning on the trail. I realize that this is just one example of the impact that nature can have on trees, but it makes me question some of the ideas that I have had regarding stick manipulation being a form of communication. Some of it is simply, most likely, natural. But that doesn't mean that it cannot happen in a purposeful manner, kind of like I found in Lenawee. I just need to take a little more skeptical look at things occasionally when I'm in the field and when I'm analyzing photographs. And maybe we all do. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.